Alright, so I'm sitting here at Drummer's World talking with Tyshawn Sorey. This is part of our YouTube channel series, and since Tyshawn has a reputation as not only a percussionist but a composer, I wanted to ask you, Tyshawn, for a musician, more importantly like a percussionist who's starting to learn about composition, what kind of tips or pointers could you offer for minds like that?
Well, what I'd like to say is that I guess there's a bias out there that I'd like to start making this point, that there is a bias out there that indicates that there are drummers slash percussionists slash performers, whatever you want to call it, do not know any music theory and do not, they don't really compose any kind of music or whatever. They're just supposed to like provide time and they're supposed to play time and that kind of thing. And what I'm looking to do personally is to eliminate that bias from my line of thinking and to compose music that I feel is necessary for my expression. Sometimes even in cases where I don't express myself in the normal way that I usually do with other ensembles that I play with. So the thing I'd like to say is that first of all, you can avoid confronting that bias. You can confront the bias, that drummers don't know any theory or they don't know anything about harmony or don't know anything about melody and this kind of thing. As long as that's not in your mind, then you'll feel free to go on and move over to composition where you're writing something. Mm-hmm. Also, a good idea would be to learn the piano as best as you can. You don't have to be like any kind of virtuoso or anything like that, but at least have some knowledge of the piano and things like that. If you're hearing a certain thing or if you're hearing how things are being phrased and that kind of thing. I mean, if you're able to do that, then then that would be good. And not only will it help you to write better compositions as you go along, but also it will help your playing on many levels. Also, should you get into situations where the music itself is compositionally involved, I think it's necessary for you to be able to develop, that kind of thing. Yeah. And to also listen to recordings that are not by drummers, or let's listen to recordings that, let's say, that are more on a compositional level. And that is listening to any kind of recordings, classical recordings or contemporary classical recordings, which is mostly what I listen to nowadays to compose the music I wish to compose. But really getting into depth, about all the different composers and every idiom of music, whether it's Bach or Charles Mingus or John Cage or whoever. Never put yourself in a box in terms of what idiom to check out as far as composition is concerned, because there's so much to draw from in any kind of music that you listen to, I believe, anyway. Yeah. So that's all I like to say. Never close your mind off. Learn the piano, and don't believe the bias that that drummers don't really know anything about notes or harmony or melody, because it's simply not true. And I think that I hope that there will be more drummer composers that will be coming out here and having the same opportunities to present as much of their work as possible, just like saxophone player composers or piano player composers. Right. I think the drummer composer should have an equal stance in having the opportunity and presenting his own music as well. So
absolutely.
That's all I like to say.
Thank you so much, Tyshawn. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.